Chapter 158, Azari's Hidden Trump Card 2. This was more than madness. It was more of self-saving. If she allowed Azari to spin the bone blade without a care in the world, Kai Hongying would probably die today. Kai Hongying's punch almost broke Azari's neck. He felt that if he continued to engage in close combat with this woman, even if he killed her, her final counterattack would make him suffer greatly. Azari no longer thought about spinning the bone blade. Instead, he pulled out the curved bone blade in an extremely decisive manner. Blood immediately gushed out of Kai Hongying's chest. The blood caused Kai Hongying to lose all her strength. Her movements suddenly trembled, and the movements of the brass knuckles that were punching Azari's neck and head suddenly slowed down. Azari took the opportunity to flip over and break free from Kai Hongying's pressure. The curved bone blade between his fingers slashed at Kai Hongying's throat. Clang, clang, clang. An invisible barrier suddenly appeared in front of Azari's bone blade. Azari stabbed it 3 times but failed to pierce through the invisible barrier. Ku Qingshan, an associate professor of the School of General Senses, was sitting in the judge's seat. His shiny forehead was shining under the sunlight as he stared at them. Almost at the same time, it was as if a pair of invisible hands had appeared and quickly lifted Kai Hongying, who had fallen to the ground with blood gushing out of her chest. In an instant, they carried Kai Hongying across the arena and sent her directly to the emergency medical team. Save her! Ku Qingshan placed Kai Hongying on the medical bed and said those words softly. On the other side, the medical team had already started to rescue Kai Hongying. She was stabbed through the body in a curved manner. Her heart and lungs were injured. Immediately establish an external circulation of the heart. Inform the emergency center to prepare for the heart and lungs repair surgery. Everyone wassailant. Kaixio had already pounced over the moment Kai Hongying's chest was pierced by the bone blade. He was blocked by the staff. Brother Chai, don't cause trouble. Trust the doctors in our school at a time like this. Zhu Tui walked behind the extremely nervous Chai Zhao and patted his shoulder. Chai Zhao slowly stood up and looked at Kai Hongying, who was being saved by the doctor. He then glanced at Azari, who had just stood up on the stage. I suddenly hate myself. Why am I so useless? I should be the one on stage now. Chai Zhao growled. Chai Zhao glanced at Zhu Tui. He wanted to say something, but he did not. I should be next. Zhu Tui patted Chai Zhao's shoulder gently and returned to the inner court area. Chai Zhao then turned back silently. At this moment, a doctor who was treating Kai Hongying's injuries suddenly walked over. Who is Quixi? Kuishi hurried over. Kai Hongying asked me to tell you that a needle-shaped mental attack is very fast. It can be performed more than 12 times per second. The maximum distance is 7 meters. The strength of the final burst is half. Hearing this, Kuishi and the other team members were moved. Kai Hongying did not forget to summarize her combat experience with the enemy and provide them with help despite her serious injuries. It was really... Doctor, the intensity of the last explosion was half. What does that mean? I don't understand. Kuishi pressed on. The first sentence was clear. It should be Azari's mental attack. It was a needle-like mental attack. The frequency of the attack was more than 12 times per second. The furthest range of this mental attack was 7 meters. However, what did the second sentence mean? Kuishi could not understand. The other students did not understand what he meant either. However, Zhu Tui understood. Kai Hongying was probably comparing the strength of Azari's mental attack with Zhu Tui's mental whip. It should be said that the strength of Azari's mental attack was only half of the mental strength that Zhu Tui had unleashed the day before yesterday. Otherwise, Kai Hongying would not have been able to recover in an instant and counterattack Azari. We're not sure about that. She just told me to pass on the message, said the doctor who came over to pass the message. Looking at Kai Hongying, who had already been sent to the ambulance, Kuishi nodded and did not ask further. Doctor, how are Hongying's injuries? From the looks of it, it's not too serious. She injured her heart and lungs. She'll recover completely in a week or 2. However, if her injuries are any more serious, it'll be very dangerous. As he spoke, the doctor glared at Azari, who was on the stage. I'm very impressed with this girl. She has displayed our might. The rest is up to you. With that, the doctor left. Kuishi returned to the team area in the inner court and stood in front of everyone with Hunansong. Genetic Bone Blade. The teacher in charge, Hunansong, was the first to speak. Azari hid his strength very well. The strength he displayed previously has always been of the mystery branch. His mental strength is very powerful. We did not expect him to already have a genetic bone blade. This was a true genetic weapon. Its strength and sharpness usually surpassed alloy. The key was that when used, it was unpredictable and had great lethality. This way, we would have to re-evaluate Azari's strength. Not only was he proficient in mental attacks, but he should also be very strong in close combat. Moreover, his genetic bone blade should have been achieved after completing at least one genetic mutation. In other words, Azari's current strength had already reached the mutant realm. Azari was at least a level F genetic mutant. This way, our battle strategy will have to be adjusted, Hunansong analyzed. Kuishi understood what Hunansong meant and took the initiative to speak. Teacher, although I have not undergone a qualitative change, I am confident. However, he was interrupted by Hunansong. How can you defend against his mental attack? Or can you do what Kai Hongying did? Hunansong asked. It's a pity. If Tao Guan was here, it wouldn't be a problem, Zhang Changtai, who was also participating in the battle, suddenly said. Almost at the same time that he spoke, Zhu Tui took the initiative to step forward. Mr. Hu, Captain, let me do this round. Kuishi did not say anything, but Hunansong was still a little worried. After all, Zhu Tui was only a freshman. Mr. Hu, don't worry. The Tao Guan that Zhang Changtai mentioned was the one that I defeated and injured, Zhu Tui said. Zhang Changtai was speechless. All right, you have to be careful. Azari just revealed a new trump card. You have to make corresponding adjustments to your battle plan. Do you need our help? Hunansong asked. No need. Zhu Tui shook his head firmly. However, I have a small request. Speak. Teacher Captain, I remember that there should be 1 or 2 media interviews during our actual combat exchange this time, right? Zhu Tui suddenly said. Yes, there were 2 interviews. One was arranged for Kuishi, and the other was for all of you after the exchange battle, Hunansong said. I want it once. I want it now that I'm on stage, Zhu Tui said. Why do you want this? The teacher in charge, Hunansong, was a little puzzled. Give it to him. Arrange it now. He needs this, but I don't. Kuishi said. Thanks. Zhu Tui nodded at Kuishi and said, I'm going up. Then, Zhu Tui lightly stepped onto the combat arena.